Seahawks. Back, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now Wilson on second down. Dancing to his left. Uncorks one for Dave, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. On first down, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now they'll run it on the toss. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 94 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball in that stage from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Charles, I want you to analyze the Seahawks' playoff chances here as they come out for this next drive. I think it's safe to say they're not going to catch the Rams. They're not going to win the division, but how about their playoff hopes as far as a wild card goes?
But they're going to need some help along the way, I think, from other teams, other divisions, but it's not lost yet. Russell Wilson gives you an opportunity every time you take the field. The offensive line playing way better than expected. They're running the football like the Seahawks of old, led by Chris Carson. And that defense, not a lot of recognizable names, but playing at a pretty decent level, somewhat what we suspected in preseason, that Pete Carroll was excited about having a bunch of no-names, that maybe he could mold again. And I think that's what we're seeing with Seattle. Right now, tracking towards being a 500 team, but they can put together a 3-game winning streak somewhere. they could have a shot at it.
And if you're looking at the end of the season, great news for the Seahawks. 4 of their last 5 games at home. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Flushed out right. Uncorks one for Davis. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Being chased out left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
14. Tempo.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Run left. Go, 14.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
14, run it. Go, 14.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson.
Situation. They think that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That good for 19 at a 1st down.
And it is still early, just the 1st quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Here's a carry for the fullback. This is Andy Janovich. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2.
Let's go.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Frank Clark in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. You know, Charles, it is hard to believe that we are sitting on the doorstep of Thanksgiving week. Already that time of year, but it always gives us good football. One of the games on Thanksgiving, Chicago and Detroit, that'll get the party started at 12:30 Eastern.
One of the traditional games, Detroit hosting, Dallas hosting, but and partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Tempo. 19. Zebra. Got it.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Keenum now on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So the first play of the drive, they strike through the air and score.
A lot of coaches like change of possession as a time to go ahead and strike, and that's what we saw there. Ball turned over, first play, right to the end zone.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Into the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. Past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and a route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And the Seahawks on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, it's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. After the interception, here's Keenum. And his throw here's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, go, Roger.
Out of the gun, Keenum. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Frank Clark in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. They'll put it in the hands of their receiver, Sanders. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Shotgun.
Now Wilson on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Yeah, we're good, we're good. 53. Hot, 220. Hey, all right. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Roger, roger, roger.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. K.J. Wright in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
That's how we do it, baby. Roger, roger, roger.
The final shot before half for Keenum. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4. Hey, go, Roger.
The fullback Janovich on the handoff. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, orange, orange. Orange, orange. Check 3. Hey, 52.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, orange, orange. Orange, orange. Let's go, motion, motion, motion. On 53. Right there, 54, Mike.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, it's Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points. You keep grinding clock.
Right 20.
Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
No, Roger. Hey! Slam!
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Four down. Check. Four down. Down. Switch. Check. Hey, go, Roger.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10
19.
at about the 32.
Move 15.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. On first down, Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fair. Hey, easy. Check 51. 19.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
14. 35's the mic.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Baldwin. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Von Miller in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game. Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And, boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out. Turned into a big loss of yardage.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like a turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And facing a very tough 3rd and 19 here after both of those running plays went backwards.
Hey. 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like,
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Von Miller in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. On second down, Wilson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. From the gun on third down, Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.